I wanted to talk to you about that game in particular, first of all, simply because of the performance by Chris Paul. I think the biggest thing is that a lot of people didn't expect Booker to go, and he did. He got some limited time and contributed, but that game was so back and forth, and Chris Paul was just absolutely perfect.
Yeah, it was an amazing atmosphere at Smoothie King Center. The crowd was going absolutely nuts. The Pelicans are up 10 at halftime, and just slowly but surely you got the veteran old man game from Chris Paul to just pull that back in Phoenix's favor. He kind of set things even in the third quarter, and then in the final 2 minutes he completely took over, just orchestrating on a different level. It was painful loss for the people in New Orleans because obviously Chris Paul used to play down there. He kind of eliminates his former team. But you just saw their the savvy that they worked up through their finals run last year. Chris Paul finding DeAndre Ayton, setting up Devin Booker for a clutch three, and then some big defensive plays by Mikal Bridges. I think it was really a nice statement win for the Suns, who had struggled a little bit in that series without Booker, to just let everybody know, hey, going into the second round, we're back on track. We're ready to do this thing.
How important is DeAndre Ayton? We saw the importance of what he was able to contribute a year ago, but it's a year later. Devin Booker, the injury limited him. Chris Paul, is getting up in age, even though he did what he did. How important is DeAndre Ayton in the next round?
Well, he's huge. He had a great playoffs last year. He came into last year's playoffs facing all these questions about,
right.
Hey, he's a young guy, young centers struggle. Is he going to be able to do it? And last year in the second round, he actually had a head-to-head matchup against the MVP, Nikola Jokic. He held his own, really held Jokic in check, and was really the key X factor in that series. It's going to be a totally different challenge this year in the second round going against Dallas. They try to spread you out. It's all small ball. It's all shooting. It's all guys who are going to try to make DeAndre Ayton cover a lot of ground. And so for the challenge for him this year, it's not about banging with the Joker, one of the biggest bodies in the NBA. It's all about really quick footwork and then trying to make Dallas' small ball, punish them on the other end and try to get some scoring around the basket. We can see, Phoenix might try to actually go away from Ayton at times in this series to try to play matchup basketball with the Mavericks and go a little bit smaller themselves. I think that's one thing to kind of keep an eye on. Does Monty Williams stick with Ayton, or does he try to mix it up in this series?
Yeah, speaking of that Dallas team, right? Luka Doncic wins his first playoff series. They do it on the road. All three teams last night on the road, clinching their series with victories. Talk to us about Dallas and that matchup in round two.
Well, it's such a funny scenario, right? Because Luka's basically year 4, and we're waiting for the breakthrough. It's his third time in the playoffs. Is he finally going to be able to get it done? If he wants to be mentioned as one of these all-time greats, guys like Jordan and LeBron were making the playoffs and winning series pretty earlier in their career, and Luka hadn't done it. And the amazing thing is, he wasn't the main driving force in that series. It was actually, the Robin to his Batman with Jalen Brunson just outplaying Donovan Mitchell in the first round and really establishing himself as, I think, one of the most coveted free agents this summer. Jalen Brunson is going to get paid because he torched the Utah Jazz in that first-round series. So the nice part for Luka is the pressure is off because he finally did have the playoff breakthrough. He's no longer the guy who's never won in the postseason when a guy like Trae Young and DeAndre Ayton, guys from his draft class had already had some playoff success. He's got that monkey off his back. And even better, he's got a supporting cast that really stepped up and showed that they could do something in the postseason, whether that's Jalen Brunson, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Dorian Finney-Smith played some great defense in that first round, too. So Luka's sitting pretty right now. He's thinking, well, I'm a little bit rested. I'm back healthy. I'm on the court, and I've got a lot more help than I had in last year's playoffs, for sure. The tricky part, though, is they're going against the best team in the league with the Phoenix Suns. Mikal Bridges is an unbelievable defensive player. I think he's going to get a lot of time trying to slow down Luka, and that's going to be a really, really fun matchup to watch.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.